YouTube, it's Tom back with another one for you. And this one here is a continuation of Meet Your Strawman, number 11 or 12. 11 or 12, one of those two. So, all right. So, this is actually the last installation of it. The last section of it is only four slides. After this, there's a list of different what do you call it? Different YouTube videos and stuff like that for you to reference. And so this here, a couple slides in, starts talking about free energy and stuff like that, which is something that I'm really big into. And I have a lot of plans to work on some pretty revolutionary shit. Hopefully very soon. Not only with like cures and things like that I have coded out of the gematria, but then also some free energy stuff and things like that too as well. So here we go. So remember that when these wars accelerate and extend, remember that when your son or your neighbor's son comes back in a flag draped coffin, remember that when they point the finger at the new boogeyman, because the madmen who are running the show will take this as far as you allow them to take it. So so how much time do we have left? It's a question which I hear constantly, but it is the wrong question. Asking how much time we have left is a passive posture. It is the attitude of the prisoner who is waiting to be taken out of a ditch and shot in the back of the head. What are our chances? Can we change course? Also the wrong question. The odds don't matter anymore. If you understand that what we are facing, then you have a moral responsibility to do everything in your power to alter the course we are on, regardless of the odds. It is only when you stop basing your involvement on the chances of your success that success actually becomes possible. The strip be ill-gotten power from the financial elites and bring these commercial cartels to justice will require nothing less than a revolution. The government is not going to save us. The government is completely infiltrated and corrupt to the core. Looking to them for a solution at this point is utterly naive. So these are the three stages of revolution, and they are sequential. Stage one is already underway. Stage one is the ideological resistance. In this stage, we have to actively work to wake up as many people as possible about what is happening and the possible direction that we are headed. All revolutions originate from a shift in the mindset of the population, and no other meaningful resistance is possible without it. Success in this stage of the game can be measured by the contagion of ideas. When an idea reaches critical mass, it begins to spread on its own and seeps into all levels of society. In order to achieve the contagion, we need more people in this fight. We need more people speaking up, and that's what it is. So you just say what me. I'm on here just stating my personal observations, things that are literal, obvious observations that maybe people just cannot see for whatever reason it may be. So we move forward, and I'm just speaking the truth, literal, obvious observations. That's it. Making videos, writing articles, getting this information onto the national and international stage, and we especially need to reach the military and the police. Stage two is a civil disobedience, also known as a nonviolent resistance. In this stage, you put your money where your mouth is, or more accurately, you withhold your money and your obedience from the government, and you do everything in your power to bring the gears of the state to a halt. Practiced in mass, this method alone is often enough to bring a regime to its knees. However, if it fails at this stage, then stage three is inevitable. Stage three is a direct physical resistance. Direct physical resistance is the last resort, and it should be avoided and delayed as long as possible, and only invoked when all other options have been thoroughly exhausted. These are those who talk tough and claim that they will resist when the time comes, but what they fail to realize is that if you are an inactive during the first two stages and save your efforts for the last resistance, then you will fail. When the Nazis in Germany were moving from door to door, dragging people out of their homes, that this was the time to fight back physically. But due to the lack of ideological resistance and civil disobedience leading up to that moment, even an armed uprising would have likely failed at that point. An armed uprising can only succeed if the people have established an attitude of active resistance, and active resistance is only possible after their minds have broken free from the mainstream propaganda. And that's getting your mind out of the fucking news and believing what the fuck that they're telling you and all this shit, right? If you want to fight back, then it's now or never. You're not going to get back. You're not going to get another chance. And the stakes are far higher than they were in Nazi Germany, right? So this is a pretty good book. And then from here we get into the free energy and shit like that too. Awesome shit here. So one of the major attacks mounted against you is to con you out of your money. Much of this is in government tax on fuels, right? And I mean, you see what the gas prices are looking like, right? And burnt to provide energy. Energy for transport, energy for heating, cooling, lighting, cooking, washing, drying, communications, entertainment. A major effort has been put into attempting to prevent you from finding out the simple fact that we are all surrounded by limitless energy. And more importantly, preventing us from finding out how to tap in to use that energy. What do you think the transformers are that are sitting out front of your house and all them fucking wires that they got hanging there? Those actually produce the fucking energy and they sell it to you. They're not fucking making all that goddamn energy that fucking runs everybody's house. That's just coming out of the fucking transformers and the goddamn wires. Literally. Come on, man. Use your fucking heads. So the tight control has been kept on educational establishments. Publishing mainstream news patents have been suppressed. Inventors harassed, intimidated, and forced into silence by any available means. And that's what they do. As soon as you go and try to patent your product, then they're gonna fucking seize it because you put it into the public like that. You can do whatever you want in the private. As soon as you start to try to go public with it, that's their fucking domain, and then they can obviously shut you up however the fuck that they want to. So, but you can do whatever you want in the private. Not to mention they hire a lot of people to give half truths, and then they fake hoax kill them and shit like that too, just so people will be scared to come out with shit. Come on. The reality is that energy can be pulled from the air using Ariel and Herman Plausen produced systems which provide more than 100 kilowatts of electricity. I mean, what do you think fucking lighthouses were? The higher you go up in elevation, the more energy from the ether that you can fucking extract using, what the fuck was it? Ether, mercury oxide and shit like that, which is like a red mercury base, right? It's interdimensional, just like our plasma, and you're able to access energy out of the ether that way. You can also use copper coils and things like that too. Look at a fucking transformer. That's exactly what it is. Why do you think it's up so fucking high? You know what I mean? Come on. So there's nothing magical about this, and the energy comes from the ionosphere, which the sun continuously charges. Sorry, folks. There's no magic, just practical engineering. Energy can be pulled from the ground, and which it definitely can, as the Earth is a vast reservoir of energy. Energy can be taken from gravity by various methods, including just nudging weights sideways as they fall, powering a large wheel which turns a generator. Energy can be drawn from changes in inertia, as just spinning a flywheel which drives a generator allows the generator to power both the flywheel and the other items of the household equipment. Ordinary unmodified petrol generators can provide kilowatts of electrical power by splitting water into component gases, using those gases to power the generator. Here, the generator both splits the water and power the additional equipment. It is possible to build a simple motor generator which produces far more electrical power than is needed to make it run. So that would be a free energy generator which would power itself plus something else, right? Real simple things. Even, I mean, magnets, things, so many things you could do. So Adams of New Zealand demonstrated this with quite small models which had a minimum of 8 times more output than input power, while more advanced models have outputs hundreds of times greater than the input power. We're told either tongue-in-cheek or based on complete ignorance that permanent magnets can't do any useful work. Hall has showed that anybody can build a simple rotor drum which is made to spin just using permanent magnets, and that's a fact. So we are told that no electronics driven transformers can output more than is used to drive it. Haynes has demonstrated that this is just not true. While by adding a permanent magnet to the transformer, Lawrence Sung has shown that with just a simple iron frame, much more power can be drawn from the output than is needed to operate the frame. And that's a fact as well. So the supposed limits taught by educational establishments are based on electronic transfer methods in transformers running at low speeds, such as 50 to 60 cycles per second. However, if the transfer is made by magnetic rather than electrical and the cycle frequency exceeds 20,000 cycles per second, and especially if the voltage is raised at a much higher level, then the output power from a simple motionless device can be kilowatts more than the input power. So there are many ways to provide electrical power where no fuel is burnt, and where you do not have to pay for whatever energy you happen to draw from the system. There is no need for you to do any of this, but But it is important that you understand that it can be done, and that there is actually no need for you to be charged for every watt of electricity that you choose to use. So please download and read the ebook below. It is free. Above all else, please understand fully that this technology has been suppressed for personal gain for more than 100 years. And so this is that little link down there. It shows you where to find that free ebook. So check that shit out. And I'll show you the rest of the links tomorrow. I'll do that in the last what do you call it, the last summary version of this, of Meet Your Strawman. So you will have heard the whole book here if you go through 1 through 12 of all these sections of it. And that's the whole book of Meet Your Strawman. So, I mean, it is a game of chess. Stop playing checkers with these fucking assholes. That's what I got for you for now. Until we meet again.